So do you also want to convert your audio files into text within seconds? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create text notes from audio to text using an AI agent. So like you, I also used to manually write the text by listening the audio, but this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add my audio file in my Google Drive, automatically my AI agent is going to transcribe that audio file, and further we can generate the summary and the notes from that audio file and add it into our Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Drive, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, and then Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screens. In this video, I'll show you how to create an AI agent that converts audios into a clear structured text notes. So using tools like OpenAI, we can generate this podcast notes and summary and add them right over here into my spreadsheet. So yes, if you also want to see the proper working of this automation, and if you also want to create this automation, then stick to this video till the end. Alright, so to do this, we are simply going to open a new tab and search for pabbly.com/connect in our browser to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect. So I'm just going to search for pabbly.com/connect, and after opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this button which says sign up for free, and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account, and now it is opening my dashboard. And to get started, we are simply going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as this, how to create text notes from audio. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create, and once we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select our trigger application which is Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for Google Drive and select it right over here. And now for the trigger event, we are simply going to select it as new file in a specific folder and click on this connect. And once we're going to click on this connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Drive account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now it is asking me for the Gmail account, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Drive. So I'm just going to select my Gmail account right over here, and once we're going to select the Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Drive account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it is asking me to select the folder or the subfolder. So I'm simply going to select the folder right over here. So as you can see, the name of my folder is podcast. So I'm just going to select the same folder right over here which is podcast. So I'm just going to look for it and select it. And after selecting the folder, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that the folder which you're selecting right over here should be a shareable one. So what do I mean by a shareable one? So you have to go towards the folder name, share, and then once again share. And over here for the permissions, you have to keep it as anyone with the link and editor, so that when you send this file which you add in this folder towards your AI agent, automatically they're going to get the access to your file. So that's the reason that you have to keep the access as anyone with the link and editor to make this folder a shareable one. It is a really important step. You first have to make this, and now after doing this you can select your folder. And after selecting the folder, we are going to click on the save and send test request. But before clicking on this, I'll just let you know that Google Drive is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that this application will not check for new data instantly. It is going to take certain amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Google Drive, it is saying the trigger will check for new data in 10 minutes. So once I'm just going to click on the save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Google Drive account. So what you're going to do is I'm just going to open my Google Drive account, and over here I'm just going to add a podcast. For that, I'm just going to go towards this new and then file upload, and over here I'm just going to upload this podcast right over here. And once we're going to upload this podcast right over here, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the response of the same because this is the latest submission, right? So what we're going to do is I'm just going to open my workflow and click on the save and send test request right over here, so that Pabbly can capture the response of the same. And yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of the same. You can see the file name, you can see all the details which have been captured. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now whenever I'm just going to add a new file in this specific folder, automatically within 10 minutes this workflow is going to get triggered. And if you want to reduce or increase this time, you can go towards this three dots, set trigger time, and from here you can reduce or increase this time. I'm just going to keep it as 10 minutes only and move on further. Now what I want is I want to create text notes from the audio, right? So what we're going to do is first we're going to generate the transcription of this audio, and then we're going to create the notes. So to generate the transcription, I'm simply going to select an AI agent which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it right over here. And now for the action event, we are simply going to select it as generate transcript and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key which I need to enter here. And I'm just going to click on this green button which says create secret key. And now it is asking me for the key name. So let's say I'm just going to name this key as text notes right over here. And then I'm just going to select the project and click on this create secret key button. And now my key has been created. So I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're going to paste this key right over here in our workflow and click on this save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the audio file URL. So over here, I'm just going to enter the audio file URL, but we're not going to enter it manually by typing it or by copy pasting it, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Drive as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map the audio file URL right over here. Now we're going to move on forward and select the model as Whisper right over here. You can select any another of your choice, but you have to keep in mind that the audio file URL which you are attaching should be the content link only, and it should be a MP3 file only. Alright, and after doing all of this, we are simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And once we're going to click on this save and send test request, automatically the transcription of this audio file would be generated. Till then, you can read this important notes, which is file uploads are currently limited to 25 MB. Following input files are supported MP3, MP4 and all. Alright, so you can read this still. Alright, now over here you can see that my AI agent has generated me the transcription. Over here you can see that this is the transcription of the podcast, but I'm just going to first let you know what the podcast said. So I'm just going to play it right over here.
So my next question is about connecting with the customers.
So as you can see, the starting of the podcast said, so my next question is about connecting with the customers. So yes, you can see the transcription generated is exactly correct. And now using this transcription, I'm just going to generate the notes. For that also, I'm just going to add another action step and select the action application as OpenAI only. But now this time for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. So we have recently connected our OpenAI account. So I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select my AI model, which is GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. And as you can see that this is the prompt which I want to give. And now I'm just going to map the transcription which we generated right over here. And I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request so that my AI agent can generate me the summary and the notes. And now you can see that my AI agent has successfully generated me the episode summary and the notes too. And now I'm just going to add both of these into my spreadsheet. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as add new row and click on this connect right over here. And once we're going to click on this connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So once again, if you have already connected your Google Sheets, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. Once I'm just going to select my Gmail account to connect my Google Sheets. And now it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Sheets with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So I'm simply going to select my spreadsheet which is named podcast. Now we're going to move on further. I'm just going to select the sheet 2 which is sheet 1. And after selecting the spreadsheet and the sheet, we're going to move on further. I'm just going to enter the episode title, summary and the notes one by one. So first we're going to start by mapping the episode title which was the name of my file. So I'm simply going to map it right over here and then we're going to move on further. I'm just going to map the summary too. I'm just going to look for summary right over here which my AI agent generated and map it. And now I'm just going to map the notes too. And after mapping all of these details, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And now these details have been added into my spreadsheet. So I'm just going to open my spreadsheet and yes, over here you can see the details have been added. You can see the summary and the notes and also the episode title has been added right over here. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what is going to happen is that whenever I add a new podcast right over here in my Google Drive, automatically within 10 minutes this workflow is going to get triggered. My AI agent is going to generate me the transcript. Further, my AI agent is going to generate me the summary and the notes of the same podcast. And then we're going to add that into our spreadsheet. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow and this video too. Now go and try this amazing automation for your own business. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.